Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Pericles, and today we get to hear from Gower in Act 4, Scene 4. Like, what? Hang on, I thought Gower only did prologues, but nope, he gets a scene all to himself because I guess they couldn't figure out how to write some scenes or something, so they put in a little Gower interlude or some such thing. So anyway, yesterday we heard the prologue to Act 4, wherein Gower tells us that Pericles has left his daughter in Tarsus with Dionysa and Cleon to be raised. They've promised to raise her as if she was their own. He's gone back to Tyre to reclaim his throne because otherwise Helicanus is going to get it and there's going to be like a coup in Tarsus. And his wife Tessa has washed up on the shores of Ephesus and they revived her, but she thinks that her whole family is dead, so she has gone to become a nun. So Act 4, Scene 1, we get Dionysa, who is insanely jealous of Marina. Marina being Pericles' daughter. Dionysa is the wife. She is insanely jealous of Marina because Marina is more beautiful, smarter, all these sorts of things than Dionysa's daughter. So Dionysa has arranged for somebody to kill Marina so that her own daughter can be held in higher esteem. So we start off the scene with Dionysa and the murderer chatting. She's like, "You're going to do it, right? You're going to do it, right?" And then Marina comes in and she has some flowers because she's mourning because her nurse Lycordia has died. And Dionysa is like, "Well, here's a new nurse for you," and passes off the murderer for a nurse and is like, "Go for a walk, you'll feel better, you'll feel better." So the two of them go walking and they're having a lovely conversation until suddenly the murderer is like, "Okay, say your prayers because I gotta kill you now." And Marina's like, "What? I never did anything bad in my life. Like, how could you can't kill me. Like, no, you're not gonna kill, you're not the sort of person that's gonna kill me." And the murderer's like, "Yep, I am." And then some pirates arrive and kidnap Marina. And the murderer is like, "Okay, so those pirates are taking her away and they're probably going to kill her. But if they don't kill her, if they just like rape her for a little while, maybe I should follow along. So just in case they rape her and leave her behind, then I can kill her." And that's the end of Act 4, Scene 1. Act 4, Scene 2, we're now in Middelin, which is yet another city that we get to go to, where we meet the owner of a brothel who's named Bod and some of her minions. And they're talking about how they don't have any good women to work in the brothel anymore because they've all sort of gone different ways and gotten worn out and all that sort of thing. So they need to go get some new employees to work in the brothel, or indentured servants, however you want to put it. So they go out into the market and lo and behold, they meet Marina and the pirates. And the pirates sell Marina to Bod, and there's a conversation, "Okay, you're going to do all the things, and hey, you go out into the market and tell everybody that we have this beautiful virgin, and whoever offers the most money gets to take her maidenhood because that'll bring in a lot of money." And then there's conversation between Bod and Marina where Bod is trying to tell Marina how to be a whore, and Marina's like, "Nope, I don't want to do that at all." And they're like, "Yep, you're going to do that. You're going to do it all." And that's the end of Act 4, Scene 2. And then Act 4, Scene 3, we're back in Tarsus with Cleon and Dionysa, and Cleon is like, "What did you do? How could you murder her? What are we gonna tell Pericles when he comes back to get his daughter, which could be like any day now?" And Dionysa's like, "Well, we'll just tell him that she died, because, nurses aren't infallible, so she could have just like died in her sleep or some such thing, and we'll build a statue that'll be fine, and we'll tell him that like we mourned and buried her proper and all that sort of thing." And Cleon is like, "You are cracked. You are seriously cracked." And Dionysus is like, No, it's gonna be fine. Totally, it's gonna be fine. When he shows up, it's gonna be fine. So then we get Act 4, Scene 4, where Gower has to start out with a little bit of an apology. And he says, "Thus time we waste, and long leagues make short. Sails, seas, and cockles have, and wish but for it, making to take our imagination from bourne to bourne, region to region. By you, being pardoned, we commit no crime, to use one language in each several clime where our scenes seems to live. I do beseech you to learn of me who stand with gaps to teach you." The stages of our story. Pericles is now again thwarting thy wayward seas, attended on by many a lord and knight, to see his daughter, all his lives' delight. Old Helicanus goes along behind, is left to govern it, you bear in mind, old Iscanes, whom Helicanus late advanced in time to great and high estate. Well-sailing ships and bounteous winds have brought this king to Tarsus. Think this pilot thought, so with his steerage shall your thoughts groan to fetch his daughter home, who first is gone. Like motes and shadows, see them move a while, your ears unto your eyes I'll reconcile. And then we have a little bit of a dumb show in the middle of it, where Pericles comes in, and Cleon and Dionysa come in, and Cleon shows Pericles like the tomb and the statue and all that sort of thing, and Pericles like starts to grieve, and he puts on sackcloth, and he leaves all aggrieved. And then Gower continues. See how belief may suffer by foul show. This borrowed passion stands for true old woe, and Pericles, in sorrow all devoured, with sighs shot through and biggest tears o'ershowered, leaves Tarsus, and again embarks. He swears never to wash his face, nor cut his hairs. He put on sackcloth, and to sea he bears a tempest, which his mortal vessel tears, and yet he rides it out. Now, please you wit, the epitaph for Marina, writ by wicked Dionysa. The fairest, sweetest, and best lies here, who withered in her spring of year. She was of Tyrus, the king's daughter, on whom foul death hath made this slaughter. Marina was she called, and at her birth Theseus, being proud, swallowed some part of the earth. Therefore the earth, fearing to be overflowed, hath Theseus' birth-child on heavens bestowed. Wherefore she does, and swears she'll never stint, make raging battery upon shores of flint. No visor does become black villainy so well as soft and tender flattery. Let Pericles believe his daughter's dead, and bear his courses to be ordered by Lady Fortune, while our steer must play his daughter's woe and heavy well-a-day in her unholy service. Patience then, and think you now are all in Mitylene. And there's my cats. So there's a lot to unpack here. First, he apologizes for the fact that we're like bouncing all over the place from scene to scene and location to location, and also apologizes for the fact that even though we're like jumping countries, everybody's speaking one language. He's like, sorry about that. But he says, all right, so Pericles and Helicanus sailed off to retrieve Marina to get her back. But by the time they got to Tarsus, she was gone, and he's told that she's dead, and he gets shown her grave, and he starts to mourn, and he wraps himself in sackcloth, and he swears that he's never going to wash his face or cut his hair again because this is how he's going to grieve. And he gets back on a boat because the man has only had one successful sailing trip this whole time. This sailing trip also gets hit by a tempest and rips his boat apart, but he survives. So then we get to hear what has been engraved on the statue, saying that, you know, Marina was beloved and she was beautiful and she was just too pretty for this earth, so she had to die. And then Gower gets a little saucy and is like, this is a bunch of crap. This is a bunch of crap. So, okay, Pericles believes that his daughter is dead. We'll just let that sit for a minute. But in the meantime, we need to get back to Marina's story and the things that she has to do now that she has been sold into life as a sex worker. So that's where we're going and we're not done with Act 4 yet. Let's see, are we still in Act 4 tomorrow? No, tomorrow we get the Act 5 prologue, but we'll get to finish up the story of what happens in Act 4 and get to check in with Marina and see how things are going. And yeah, still, I'm going to say it again, they build this play as a comedy. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.